Hello. Just checking on the mic because I don't want to screw up. Hello. Okay, got it. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us at the Whittier-Hill Church Autumn Memorial Service. For all of you, thank you for those of you who sent in names of family members, friends, acquaintances, next door neighbors. Thank you very much for sending those in. We think though that we've included them into today's service. And at this time, we'd like to begin this year's Autumn Memorial Service. Oh. Chido Haide for sincere claps. Chido Haide, please bow your heads in prayer. つみてひがみ今後大臣の前に青さなより周期で採用に行わんと教祖本校大臣をはじめ希代本校様本校教大阪教会福崎親教会ワヒヤワ教会、各教会、初代教会長、歴代教会長の本徳をすがり申し、今日の見祭り、使え祭らんとす。捧げ行わんで一曲、いつかに転がみ祭る信仰者もろもろ、のものも身を正し、心あなたに体かしめたまえと、半取り次恋めぎ祭りて、かしこみもまおす。ひがみ金光大臣 I seek your for today's service. Today we conduct the autumn memorial ceremony for the deceased. As someone without virtue, I seek to receive and cling to the virtue of Kongpo Daiji, the successive Kongpo samas, as well as the founding and past head ministers of the Kongpo churches of Osaka, Fusaki, and Wakiwa for today's service. Today, the believers and I come together with our hearts, bodies, and minds, refreshed, purified, and ready for today's service. Thank you. Now, please raise your heads. Please open your prayer books to page 2 for the mediation prayer. For the purification prayer. Through the way of mediation, may our sincere apologies be acceptable to you, our divine parent. We acknowledge our mistakes and misunderstandings, errant and ignorance of your divine faith. We apologize for all our shortcomings, the irreverences from past generations. Guide us to amend our way of living, to reflect your divine will, the pure, joyful, and loving heart, always one with you. Chido Kene, please bow your heads in prayer. Genmakumo Kashiko, Reno Kongo Gyo Whittier-Hill Kyokai ni Oatsumari Uji Kora, Nashimo Totoki, Giri Naki, Enchi ni Michi Watarasere, Gaoyarami Sama no Mae ni Whittier-Hill Kyokai cho Yawa Kyoshin no Kawari ni Hongo Kyokyoshi Tsumi Yamai Shikomi mo Maosa. In this warm yet beautiful September afternoon, here at the Kongpo Church of Whittier-Hill, your beloved children have gathered together to share our love, sincerity, and appreciation to you, the blessings, favors, and interventions we receive daily. Thank you very much for the favors you have showered upon each of the Ujiko of the Whittier-Hill Church. Many of us have continued to receive your okage from our jobs, health, the greatest okage of all, life. Kami-sama, please help us to keep unconditional love and compassion for all within our hearts, especially with what has been occurring in this world. Please use us to make an impact, big or small, on our communities, cities, counties, and countries. We pray that the current economic and world situation improves to enable all of us to have a happy and stable life. Please provide us the courage and faith to overcome current and future hardships in our lives. We pray for the victims of tragedies, natural and human-made disasters, to recuperate materially, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Please allow the Whittier-Hill Church to continue to be an outstanding light in not just Whittier, but also Los Angeles County. Allow us to continue to be wonderful representatives of Kami-sama, Hongo-sama, Hongo-kyo, and Kisei. As we continue working to achieve our goals in our individual lives, whether it be for occupation, studies, relationships, and personal growth, help us to remember to enjoy the blessings we're receiving every day. And we ask for your protection and guidance with every step we take. Please give us the strength to move forward in all aspects of our lives. Help us to live a Kami-centered life as we are all allowed to live in the universe through your grace. This afternoon, we, your beloved children, have gathered today for the annual Autumn Memorial Ceremony, where we offer our hearts of love, appreciation, and sincerity to the departed. I ask that with each family name, individual name, as well as the name of a church, we remember and reflect on how those individuals have impacted our lives. As this prayer comes to an end, we will be moving over to the Mitama altar, or the altar for the deceased, to begin the Autumn Memorial Ceremony. With hearts as one, we shall give appreciation to those who have come before us, honor and appreciate the foundation of our lives and faiths. We pray that the blessings and favor of today's service is granted and received by all here today and those who could not be with us. May ke aloha kumehana, mahalo'anu ye, our beloved Ikiami Kongko Daiji, Tenchi. Now, please raise your heads. So, tomoni haire 4 sincere claps along with the head officials. Please open your prayer books to page 7 for the Adoration Prayer. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We lift our eyes in awe toward heaven soaring above. We bow our heads in prayer toward earth rich and deep, living amid such gifts of Kami's great giving. How happy and grateful we are. The mediation of Ikigami Kongko Daiji does not stop for a single day. The protection of the Divine Parent embraces all far and wide. The blessings of Kami flow without limit through all generations. The ways of Kami are mysterious and wondrous beyond our understanding. Day by day, every day, earnestly and reverently, we praise the virtues of Kami. We honor the power. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Chido Haide, 4 sincere claps. Please open your prayer books to page 11 for prayer to the departed souls. Spirits of those who have gone before us, you were given the gift of life in this vast and endless universe. You discharge your duties faithfully, each according to your span of years. You will be remembered eternally, your lives retold from generation to generation, honored as a foundation of our society and the roots of our families. We revere you as the ancestral spirits of our homes, our own divine spirits. We beseech you, stand by us each and every one. Receive the favor of Kami and help us to fulfill our tasks as people without failing. Protect us, guide us, enrich us, that we may never lose the way of faith, that we hand it down to all generations, that we may live in peace and prosperity within our homes. Protect us, guide us, enrich us. Before we go into the memorial's prayer and the calling out of the Mikama name, I'd like to take this time to ask you to please, when you hear a Mikama's name that you recognize, please take a little bit of time to reflect on that person and to say thank you to that person. Because truly, in some way, this person has touched your heart. It is a very important part of your life. So I ask you, as you hear these names, and I will try to recite them as slowly as possible, and I hope you don't mind because there's over 300 names. I'm going to sit down because standing up is going to be very taxing on my beautiful legs. So I hope you'll forgive me for sitting down as I read, as I do the service prayer in front of the Mikama altar. But please take that time to think about that one person, or whether it be a family member, a minister, or a friend, or a colleague, and to reflect on that person and what they've done for you, and just say thank you to them. Thank you. Still okay today? Please bow your heads in prayer. 我の御霊殿に合わせ沈め祭り、ましものりのまにまに、皆をたえ祭りし、天の教会に祀られる信奉者、教徒、信徒、もろが持ちつく交通や世の御霊、代々の親たちの御霊、あやからもろもろの御霊の神たち、本校教ビッティアローシル教会にご信玄にある天の御霊の神たち、関係教会、関係にある霊人の御前に、本校教教師、罪、病も魔王さん。For the altar of the deceased, much love, sincerity, and respect. I call up the names of our beloved friends, acquaintances, and those who are the foundation of our faiths, lives, country, and society. We offer our hearts of appreciation to the spirits honored at the altar of the deceased at Headquarters Worship Hall, Osaka Church, Namba Church, Takaoka Church, Kobe Church, Imeji Church, Fukuzaki Parent Church, Magari Church, and the Whittier Rosals Church. Honko family, Kandori family, Atsuonde Kandori Juhei Kimi no Mitama no Kami, 神取下姫の御霊の神。金光大臣ズワイフ。金光都政一子を図る姫の御霊の神。世間金光様、金光詩人つらゆきの君の御霊の神。世間金光様ズワイフ。金光今日姫の御霊の神。Third 金光様、金光節谷君の御霊の神。Third 金光様ズワイフ。金光菊よ姫の御霊の神。Third 金光様 Son。Third 金光様 Son。金光神聖牛の御霊の神。Fourth 金光様、金光鏡太郎の君の御霊の神。Fourth 金光様 wife、金光タホコ姫の御霊の神。Fifth 金光様 son、金光秋信大井らつこの御霊の神。福田ファミリー、畑ファミリー、川上ファミリー、本堂ファミリー、松井ファミリー、佐藤ファミリー、白神ファミリー、杉原ファミリー、高橋ファミリー、竹部ファミリー、牛尾ファミリー、本年申し上げて祭ります。本光教芸美教会初代、佐藤則夫牛の御霊の神、初代夫人、佐藤真心高照姫の御霊の神、本光教六条院教会初代高須富江姫の御霊の神、本光教大阪教会初代白神伊谷広間道分けの御事の御霊の神、二代教会長白神道置伊谷高根の君の御霊の神、本光教難波教会初代本土逸垣藤森秋高君の御霊の神、初代夫人本土梅馬市真心玉津湯姫の御霊の神、本光教神戸教会初代杉原勲の御霊の神、本光教福崎教会初代牛尾広美道分け真柱牛の御霊の神、二代教会長牛尾小春照玉道森姫の御霊の神、三代教会長牛尾広直牛の御霊の神、本光教曲教会中林淳太郎いや広玉道分けの牛の御霊の神、中林吉野真心吉太平当時の御霊の神、本光教鶴岡教会初代川上正夫道分け真柱牛の御霊の神、初代夫人川上美沙夫水玉道竹姫の御霊の神、本光教東京教会初代畑徳三郎東の道分け牛の御霊の神、二代教会長畑はじめ牛の御霊の神、三代教会長畑清牛の御霊の神、三代教会長夫人畑久美子姫の御霊の神、日本橋教会五代教会長畑康牛の御霊の神、本光教サンフランシスコ教会初代福田義明君の御霊の神、二代教会長福田信子姫の御霊の神、三代教会長松井文夫牛の御霊の神、三代教会長夫人松井文子姫の御霊の神、池川ファミリー、松本ファミリー、佐伯ファミリー、田中ファミリー、碇ファミリー、厚き御礼申し上げ立て祭ります。池川牧雄赤徳万人導き牛の御霊の神、池川近江赤徳万人導き姫の御霊の神、池川鎮子の御霊の神、サンドラ初子清水怒りの御霊の神、テッド保護怒りの御霊の神、井川ファミリー、藤本ファミリー、厚き御礼申し上げ立て祭ります。井川五郎時は年牛の御霊の神、井川久代綾音姫の御霊の神、井川千代子玉津湯若子の御霊の神、井川咲子つゆ川久子の御霊の神、井川さぬよ元いやらつめの御霊の神、井川豊道のりご教牛の御霊の神、井川雅子テルワン姫の御霊の神、井川澄子の御霊の神、井川ケネフヒロシ牛の御霊の神、オフェロファミリー、アイビーファミリー、ノーマンファミリー、ウィリアムズファミリー、サンチェズファミリー、 Landeros family, Quayle family, Fong family, and Ping family. Enrique Sanchez no Mikama no Kami, Leslie Norman no Mikama no Kami, Catherine Williams no Mikama no Kami, Mildred Fong no Mikama no Kami, Raymond Fong no Mikama no Kami, Linda Fong no Mikama no Kami, Ota family, Nagai family, Inoue family, Yamamoto family, Ota Junsuke no Mikama no Kami, Ota Hana no Mikama no Kami, Ota Daikichi no Mikama no Kami, Ota Katsuta no Mikama no Kami, Ota Mitsugi no Ushi no Mikama no Kami, Ota Take no Toji no Mikama no Kami, Ota Minoru no Mikama no Kami, Ota Yoshie no Mikama no Kami, Yamamoto Zenkichi Umashi Masayoshi Hiko no Mikama no Kami. We offer our hearts of appreciation to the spirits honored at the altar of the deceased at the Honolulu Church, Wakiawa Church, Hilo Church, Airaku Church, Tamamizu Church, Hongo Church, Koto Church, Hamada Church, Saga Church, Sapporo South Church, Saidaiji Church, Shiba Church, Amagi Church, Hengachaya Church, and Marifu Church. Kodama family, Takashi family, Yano family, Nishida family, Nagai family, Miura family, Sato family, Oishi family, Nishimura family, Takashi family, Kobayashi family, Yasutake family, Shirai family, Oba family, Okuno family, Otsubo family, Nishikawa family, Kitaka family, Shimizu family, and Yukawa family. には月御礼申し上げたくなっています。Reverend Masayuki Kodama, Reverend Kikue Kodama, Reverend Iku Shirai, Reverend Hariko Takahashi, Reverend Makio Nagai, Reverend Denzo Nishimura, Reverend Natsuo Nishimura, Reverend Wataru Kobayashi, Reverend Matsuhei Katsura, Reverend Ryuemo Kitaka, Reverend Shoichiro Kuno, Reverend Soichiro Otsubo, Reverend Katsuhiko Otsubo, Reverend Mitsuaki Otsubo, Reverend Koki Shimizu, Reverend Aiko Oba, Reverend Masanori Oba. We offer our hearts of appreciation to the spirits honored at the altar of the deceased at the San Diego Church, Seattle Church, Fresno Church, San Jose Church, Gardena Church, Lancaster Church, and Los Angeles Church. Hideshima family, Otsubo family, Yuasa family, Shibata family, Yamada family, Okazaki family, Kandori family, Tsuki family, Fujimoto family, Nishi family, Oto family, Takeda family, Arakawa family, Nigiyama family, Umemoto family, Uzunoe family, Yukawa family, Ota family. Mrs. Yasoji Hideshima, Reverend Nikimatsu Hideshima, and Reverend Mumeo Hideshima, Mr. Akira Hideshima, Mr. Harold Aloysius Ryan, Miss Nichiko Pren, Reverend Bunjo Hirayama, Reverend Haruko Ishiwata, Reverend Toshitsugu and Mrs. Toyono Kandori, Mrs. Sadae Kandori, Mr. Tensaburo Kandori, Reverend Hiromichi Kimura, Reverend Fumi Niiyama, Ms. Mei Niiyama, Reverend Kotaro Nishi, Mr. Kotaro Nishi Jr., Reverend Kamekichi Otsubo, Reverend Taiichi and Mrs. Yoshie Tsuki, Reverend Isao and Tomoyo Goto, Reverend Kazuo Suzukawa, Mrs. Reiko Suzukawa, Reverend Sadato and Jiro Takeda, Reverend Asataro Yamada, Reverend Yasukichi Yasumura, Reverend Kisa Yuasa, Reverend Norikazu Yukawa, Reverend Michihiro Yuasa, Aroyo family, Ayabe family, Mrs. Fusako Ayabe, Boyaju family, Saint Teresa of Calcutta, Brown family, Fujita family, Yasuhara family, Mr. Minoru Fujita, Jiwara family, Ginsburg family, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Hamada family, Hamasaki family, Mrs. Harue Hamasaki, Hirota family, Mr. Tadashi Hirota, Hoshino family, James Hoshino, Hughes family, Ikari family, Imano family, Inoue family, Hamae Inoue, Emiko Inoue, Haneshige family, Hanno family, Harakawa family, Nakano family, Kawahara family, Kawata family, Mr. Sam Saburo Kawata, and Mrs. Edna Yukie Kawata, Kayano family, Kosugi family, Kuida family, Lang family, Komio Lang, Matsui family, Tetsuo Matsui, Miyagawa family, Diaz family, Mr. Kyoshi Miyagawa, Madam Mitsuhiro Bando, Mrs. Norma Haruko Diaz, Mr. Bill Hideo Miyagawa, Mr. Richard Kazuo Miyagawa, Miyai family, Dr. Katsumi Miyai, Miyake family, Yoshiko K. Kawata, Morio family, Ms. Megumi Morio, Murashige family, Nagatoshi family, Nagatsu family, Nakayama family, Mr. Jiro Nakayama, Mrs. Harue Nakayama, Unguna family, Mr. Eric Unguna, Niiyama family, Miss Mei Niiyama, Ms. Harue Niiyama, Ms. Fujie Niiyama, Ms. Noriko Niiyama, Nishida family, Mr. Roy Nishida, Uka family, Mrs. Peggy Uka, Okazaki family, Mr. Tomomichi Okazaki, Mrs. Namino Okazaki, Mr. Masato Matt Okazaki, Mrs. Sanae Okazaki, Omura family, Moriwaki family, and Yasutake family, Sueo Omura, Chie Omura, Pakutaro Omura, Eikichi Omura, Nobu Omura, Tsugio Omura, Reverend Mitsuko Yasutake, Reverend Mitsumasa Yasutake, Ono family, Saiki family, Seki family, Spencer family, Diana, Princess of Wales, Sugimoto family, Kagami family, Tanbara family, Sumiyuki Tanbara, Tanaka family, Kepnappa family, Umemoto family, Mr. Henry Hank Umemoto, Ms. Keiko Umemoto, Urata family, Mr. Bert and Mrs. Edith Urata, Wata family, Yamaguchi family, Yamaguma family, Yamamoto family, Mr. George Yamamoto, Yamauchi family, Haru Yamauchi, Shinzo Yamauchi, Mikie Yamauchi, Kimio Yamauchi, Masae Yamauchi, Yasuda family, James Seishiro Yasuda. To the revered Mikama spirits of all related people, and to all the Mikama spirits who are seeking guidance, missing, and victims of natural and human-made disasters, war, accidents, terrorist attacks, crime, illnesses, and disease, and other tragic events that have happened and are happening in this world. We have gathered here with deepest reverence on this day, September 19, 2021, in observance of the annual Autumn Memorial Ceremony. Remember, honor, and pray for those whom I name today, as you are all the foundation and support of our blessed lives. To the Mikama spirits of all Konkoko ministers and your families, we would like to thank you for your devotion as a foundation of the Konko faith, as well as continuously supporting us here today and every day as Mikama spirits. Your virtue shines ever so brightly in our daily lives. To the spirits of the ministers of the Konko churches of North America, we acknowledge the many accomplishments as well as difficulties that you have encountered and persevered throughout your endeavor in spreading the Konko faith in KCNA while clinging to Tenchi Kane no Kami-sama's love. Through your dedication and consecrated work of Kuritsugi, we have all been blessed in various aspects of our faith life and you have assured us of our blessedness as we enter into the spiritual world after the passing. Please continue to guide us so that we can follow the wishes of Ikigami Konko Daiji Tenchi. To the Mikama spirits of the church believers, family members, friends, and offered names today, we are very grateful to you for your dedication in your pursuit of the Konko faith, as well as your perseverance and devotion to your family and community. We cannot help but thank you for your love and life, As you transform into spiritual beings, you continue to protect and guide your loved ones. Sadly, sometimes we are unable to recognize the blessings and beauty in our lives, and thus we offer our humblest apologies. However, we take this opportunity to extend our wholehearted appreciation for your contribution in our blessed lives, and that we now enjoy. And we pray you will continue to guide us and keep positivity and light in our lives. You receive many blessings, favors, and interventions from Kenchi Kano Kami-sama with your physical form and are receiving them as a Mitama no Kami. The lives given by Kenchi Kano Kami-sama have continued from you to us and us to the next generation like a mighty bird. We respect and revere those lives, ourselves, and our descendants through this service. Konko Daijin imparted, practice faith, receive divine blessings and by practicing faith. And not only you, but also your grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and even further generations can receive divine blessings. Even the spirits of your ancestors will be able to rest in peace because you receive divine blessings through your practice of faith. The blessings you have received stay with you forever. Therefore, you should build as large a foundation of blessings as possible during your life. Let us keep this teaching close to our hearts so that we can continue to practice faith for ourselves, our ancestors, and for future generations to come. We would like to express our gratitude to you, the Mitama no Kami-sama. You are always looking over and guiding us. Thus, your workings are revealed to all of us daily. As we walk with you in life and communicate with you through prayer, we nurture the mutual relationship, that special bond and divine bond between us. Aha. We pray that bond continues to grow and shine ever so brightly. We reverently acknowledge that through the love and virtue of Ikiyami Konko Daijin-sama, Kenchi Kano Kami-sama, and all the Mitama spirits, that we are allowed to live and enjoy our blessed lives, and we are so thank you for continuing to watch, guide, and protect your descendants. Dear pioneers and natives who are the foundation and strength of California and the United States of America, we acknowledge you and the hardships you endured in order to survive and create a future for the generations to come. We honor and admire your courage and determination, and pray that your descendants will continue to rise up and bring pride to not only you, but your respective nations. We also pray for the deceased Mitamas who are seeking salvation, to whom nobody prays for, and to those who have experienced sufferings from wars, accidents, crime, terrorism, natural disasters, illnesses, and disease, for their kachiyuki or eternal peace and happiness with Kenchi Kano-Kami's love, blessings, intercessions, and favors. We enter the bosom. Please enter the bosom of our parent Kami. Seek Konko Daijin's Tsugi and find salvation and joy. To the beloved spirits of our ancestors and believers, as well as all the Mitama spirits, please accept the offerings placed before you today, as well as the tamagushi, as an expression of our everlasting gratitude, love, and prayer for your workings, light, virtue, and Michite. Dear Mitama no Kami-sama, please continue to protect, guide, and enrich not just us, but also your descendants, other family members, and friends. Guide your descendants to the Hiromai for Kuretsugi and healing, a renewal or a birth of faith. We continue to pray that you will practice faith with us daily, so that our aura and light can continue to shine ever so brightly. Imashi Mitama no Kami Tachihashi, Higami Konko Daijin, Kuretsugi no Mikage Omuri, Ramichi no Totoki Reiji, Shinpo Shara no Kushiki Mitama no Kami no Kantata Shime Tamai, Rangi ni Neai Shinabeta no Hitobito no ue ni, Manshi Kachiyuki no Omikage Omura Shime Tamai, Ga Konko Kyo, Ube Kuiki, Mitaro Shiri Kyokai o Mamori Michibiki Tamai, に人愛をかけよの生活運動を進め、 神と人と愛をかけよで立ち行くありがたを使いを宣言する。どのご神願成就の役にたたしめたまうべく。たまながらに感度に次ぎ、単導き構えと。かしこみもまおす。Now, please raise your heads. I will be asking Ms. Miko Sanchez to please offer on behalf of Reverend Wakiko and Kyoshi Igawa Tamakushi. I will also be asking Mrs. Miko Sanchez to offer the Tamakushi on behalf of everyone in Cyberland and who could not be here today as well. So please do the hiding with her as well. 血を共に入れ。Please open your prayer books to page 11 for the ancestral prayer. ancestral prayer. Dear Mikama spirits, everlasting and integral part, divine parent of the universe, we pray that the Mikama of our ancestors and family, as well as the Mikama of all people, are in eternal peace and happiness. To you who have gone before us, we give thanks wholeheartedly for paving the way through hardships and self-sacrifice, in order that we receive all the benefits of your endeavors. To you, our ancestral spirits, we gratefully acknowledge the protection and guidance which you have bestowed upon us. We pray that you continue to protect and guide us throughout our daily lives. We pray that we realize and develop your divine virtue this and every day. Chido Haire, 4 sincere cups. Oh, hi, everybody. I don't know who that one. I think it says one person. I don't know who that one person is. Hi, one person. But that's okay. More people end up watching later on. But thank you very much for joining us today for our annual. So we hold this service. These much like Buddhists have the Ohiga, we have some. This Mitama Matsuri is held twice, once in the fall and once in the spring as well. So we hold it twice a year. And this is when all the names, we call out all the names. And I think San Diego and Whittier are the only 2 churches that does this, if I'm correct. We're the only ones that call out all the names. I don't think the other churches do that. But, you know, every church is different. Not to say anything bad, but I think every church is different. But I think it's such a wonderful thing that we get to do. And it allows us to and you know, when I used to do this, when I was an associate minister at Honolulu, this was my, although it hurts your back, because when your head minister is calling out over 700 names, so we have less than 700, like 300 or 200, something like that. Your head minister is calling out 700 names, your back hurts, let me tell you. But, you know, today I asked you to please remember these people, and it was one of my favorite things. I would do 2 things. I would count how many spirits there were that would be called out, and I was never close. The real answer would come up by the head minister. Goes, no, this is how many names we called out. And I think every year it continues to grow. He's close to like over 750 at the moment in Honolulu. And so he's had to create a separate ceremony like night before to call out maybe I think another 150. It was my favorite moment. It's a long service, as you can tell. This is a very not short service, a very long service, but it was one of my favorite aspects of it. And especially when coming up with when working on the offerings here, it's kind of my favorite time because I get to think about what would I like to do to treat these people who took care of me. What can I do to spoil them? You know, they took care of me. I want to take care of them. I want to spoil them because they spoiled me. It's such a wonderful opportunity. And I get to do it twice here at this church and back in San Diego. So I'm so kind of lucky to do this. And today, you know, I feel very grateful because, you know, I came last night and Miss Katie O'Farrell, Dr. Katie O'Farrell was here. And she said to me, oh, Todd, I have a huge, you know, I cut some flowers for tomorrow's service. Would you mind sharing them? So if you can see on all the way down there, the fluffy flower thing, I don't know what they're called. But I've always wanted, I don't know if even Miko doesn't know what they're called. But I always wanted to use it in a service for flower arrangements, but I don't know how to do it because I don't have the eye for flowers. I just buy the stuff from Vaughn, and that's the flower arrangement because I have no talent in flowers. But, you know, and I said, oh, no problem. She also made 2 tiny flower arrangements. One for is with Koko Sama, and then one is with Mr. James Ivy's grandfather on that side. So I thought, oh, this is so perfect. They're so cute. And she purposely said, it's for tomorrow's service. Please use them for tomorrow's service. I thought, gosh, I was so worried about flowers and all these things because I arrived a little bit later than normal yesterday. Kami-sama, Mitama-sama took care of all of this. You know, our Hongo Daiji taught us to revere the ancestors. And it's a simple teaching. Mitama o taisatsu ni. Revere the ancestors. And at San Diego Church, I take that teaching and I change it. I change the translation from revere the ancestors to remembering and honoring our foundation, because that's who our ancestors are. And especially here at this Whittier-Rose Hills Church, honoring our ancestors, I think, has always been something very huge, something we cannot forget. When Kyoshi Sensei, Wakiko Sensei were healthier and they were still here at Whittier, once a month, even before I moved here to California, once a month, they would visit the graves of believers and family and friends. And I think they said only once a year they had to, I don't know where it is, but it's a grave that's about an hour away from here, very, very far away from here. They would do it once a year just because of the length. And I remember once I came here and they took me to their ritual, because it just happened to be that time of the year. And so I went with them. Oh my gosh, it was like a marathon. So if you don't know, we're near Whittier, the Rose Hill Cemetery. So we started down the hill, all the way on the part of the cemetery that's not on the hill. We must have gone through at least 10 graves. He goes, oh wait, we have to do this. And because Wakiko Sensei's legs weren't very strong at that time, she goes, hurry, you have to go. And then he took the tamagoshi, and Kyoshi Sensei would take the tamagoshi, and he kind of jogged. I'm like, what is this, a marathon? What's going on? And she said, don't worry, he was going to take care of it. And there's 3 graves here, and here's another 3 graves. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then we went up the hill. And I think it was 3 or 4 graves that were up the hill. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm tired. And I'm not even driving. This is a lot of graves you go to. And I thought I'd go to a lot of graves. Then we went out to Evergreen Cemetery. And so there's the Igawa family there. There's a bunch of other people. Nishimi, I think Nishimi said this here. Some other family members are out there, or believers are out there. We're not finished yet though, but Todd, we have to go to church because of the seminar, but at least, this is just part of what we do. Because there's other graves that they attend. And I was so shocked. I was shocked, truly, truly shocked. I did not know they did that many graves. And from then on, when I moved here, I started doing it with my own believers. And I had to split it. Unfortunately, I had to split it into 2 days now because I have to go east. I have to go east about 10 miles. Not 10 miles, 6 miles east of where I live at the moment. Then I have to go west all the way to the ocean. And that's about 30 miles one way. And in between, there's a grave, and then there's the graves at Fort Rosecrans. And the next day, I have to travel. I travel north to south. I travel south to north, and that's about a 50-mile drive. And I used to do that all in one day, but after I found that grave on this side, I'm like, oh no, we have to split it into 2 graves, two days. But it's so important to honor those who set the foundation for us. And I think watching Igawa Sensei, both of them, put their faith into action by driving once a month to visit all of these graves and saying thank you to all of these people, taking that time just to do this, says so much about what we need to do in our everyday lives. And so I ask you, I know some of you are very busy in your everyday life, but can you take 1 minute, just 1 minute in front of your own personal family altars just to say, hi, good morning, how are you? Offer a cup of water, or maybe there's a snack or dessert that you want to go, here, please have this first, and then I'll enjoy it. Just to remember your ancestors, not to forget them, because they are truly the roots of our foundations. We can't, if you forget them and they rot out, you know what? I hate to see what will happen when they rot out. So I ask you all, please, to use today as a start for something new in your faith by taking 1 minute out for coming among your ancestors, 1 minute out to just remember them, spend time with them, talk with them, not forget what they've left behind for all of us. So with that, I would like to leave that there and hope that you will just take that 1 minute. That 1 minute, even 1 minute goes a long way. And so with that, I'd like to end my sermon. Next month, the third week next month, we will have our monthly service again. And then the following month, we will have our Budai side. I know it says on Saturday, if I'm correct, it's the 13th. We're going to move it to Sunday. That way I'll be able to come and help prepare, but it'll give me time to prepare versus a Saturday. So please mark your calendars, change it from that Friday, that Saturday to Sunday. That's when we will be having our Ikamikon Budai Grand ceremony. And we hope that you will all join us on that day. But thank you so much for attending today's service. Thank you so much for honoring your ancestors. And thank you so much for thinking about taking that 1 minute of time for coming Sama and your ancestors. Thank you, and we'll see you next month. We go. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh.